Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well and you're speeding through your organizational behavior course, doing a great job with your forum discussions. And I've enjoyed reading your Life Lab papers. Of course, I've only read the first one, and I'm looking forward to reading your second one on performance reviews. And in this video, what I want to do are only two things. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about the 360-degree performance review, and then I want to talk about your short research project that you will be doing. Performance reviews are extremely important if we want to help our employees do better, improve, grow, whatever. But they also need to be adequate for the job that we are expecting. And I mentioned the 360-degree review because it has become one of the most popular ways of doing a performance review because it draws from different sources and it doesn't depend simply upon the manager making the assessment of the employee. It can work really well, or it can be a phenomenal disaster. And perhaps some of you have experienced the disastrous results of the 360-degree review. It is not a panacea. It does not correct or help in every situation. And some people, instead of taking the time to improve, have simply discarded it completely. But let me talk about when the 360-degree review works well. And first of all, it works well when there is an organizational climate that is concerned about or fosters employee growth. That's one thing. It works very well when there is a clear understanding and reason and process that management will follow. When the employee understands how the process works, when the manager understands how the process works and what the reason for it is. It works very well when it is an adequate measurement for the results that you want, because the 360-degree review relies on surveys. And if the surveys don't have the kinds of questions that will help you get to what you want, then they're useless. So you need an instrument that's going to measure what you want to measure. And then it works really well if there is a high level of confidentiality, so that the people who are doing the surveys know that they're doing it anonymously, and the employee understands that he will not know or she will not know who did. Basically, you almost know, but you don't know what they say. So that is, and it's important. That's why the questions are really important, so that you don't allow for those kinds of comments that are basically, I don't like the way this person works. So it works well when you have those things. However, it is a disaster when you have, and doesn't work well, when you have your 360-degree review tied to merit pay or bonus, or there is an inadequate understanding by management and leadership, or the implementation of it is not uniform or unclear. It doesn't work well when it's tied directly to the goals and the values of the organization rather than to the goals and desires of the employee. And it doesn't work if there is little or no confidentiality. And finally, it doesn't work if there are too many surveys to fill out. Now, as I said, the 360-degree review is only one way of assessing and helping you get to that performance review of your employee. It is essential that you have some way of helping your employees look at their productivity, look at what they're learning, look at how they're doing, and help them assess what they want to do and how they want to improve. I think some of you are already doing those kinds of things in your work, but it's also important to have written instruments. And the reason I mention that is because if you come to the place where you have to terminate an employee or you have to lay them off or whatever it is, you need some documentation. You need some, if you have to discipline an employee, you need some documentation. And so working with the employee to set goals. If over time the employee isn't meeting those goals that he or she has set along with the manager, then you have something to say to the employee and say, we've worked together this long. These are the goals that we've set out year after year. This is how you haven't met them or whatever. Then you have something where you can go to the employee and say, it doesn't look like this is working out. And the reason you need that is because it keeps you from firing somebody or disciplining somebody simply because you don't like them. You need to have something concrete. I'm sure many of you have experienced things where you realized that the person needed to have something written or concrete and didn't have it. So that's for performance reviews. Consider, you don't have to do the 360-degree review, but consider some kind of performance review that helps you as a manager know how to lead, because that's what we're talking about. How can you help the people that that work with you? How can you help them achieve the best that they can be in their job? Now, I want to move on to the short research project. You have in the syllabus, and I believe on Foxtail, I also put the topics that you can choose from. Those are very broad topics. I want you to understand that. I do not expect you to write about that entire topic because you have a limited number of pages. So part of your grade is going to be about how well you focused on a particular aspect of that topic. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me, and I'll try to help you with narrowing it down. Again, let me remind you that I would encourage you to take one day where you're just looking at articles, take the broad topic, type it in your search engine on the library page, and see what kinds of articles you come up with. Take a day to do that. And then once you've got some feel for what's out there, then you can begin to narrow your topic, because that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to take an aspect of that larger topic, such as diversity, and narrow it to a smaller piece. Okay, so that's all I have for you, and I hope that this week will be beneficial. The work you've been doing is just really great, so keep it up, and by all means, if you have any questions, I will be very happy to try to help you out. Okay, until next time.